Coach Norton, the Cardinals have one of the most up-tempo games in the NFL. What kind of challenges does that pose?
Well, we've fortunately we played a few teams like the Rams last week. We played the Cardinals before. We have some experience in these situations, so certainly a challenge. You have to certainly prepare you guys for it. We watch a lot of film on it, but I think it's hard to really imitate it in practice. But the fact that we've had a lot of experience with these teams and we play them twice a year in our division, I think the guys, and myself included, have a good idea what to expect.
Corbin?
Ken, you've now gotten a chance to see DJ Reed play on the outside and in the slot. Coach Carroll said yesterday that he's made some rookie mistakes his first couple games with you. But what's been your general assessment up to this point? Where would you like to see him improve moving forward?
Well, considering our challenges and our situation, I think he stepped in and for what we asked him to do and play against some of the best athletes in the world in a position that he hadn't been played for us before. I thought he was, I thought he did very well. And he's only going to get better as he gets used to the calls, he gets used to the technique, being on the outside. It's a real tall challenge to ask a young man to play corner, play nickel, come off of IR, go right into pro football right away. That's a lot to ask, and he really stepped up to the challenge. So I'm very impressed with the fact that he was competing as well as he did.
Thanks.
Joe?
Ken, in round one against the Cardinals, Pete kind of felt like he lamented playing them straight up down the stretch and in overtime. Be wishing he would have been, you guys would have been a bit more aggressive. What is the challenge of being aggressive or deciding to play straight up against a guy like Kyler? And do you feel like you have some good takeaways from the end of that game?
There's no question there's some really good takeaways. There's a balance between being aggressive and non-aggressive. Sometimes with all our aggressiveness, they say we're too aggressive, then we pull back, then we're not as aggressive. So there's a certain balance and a certain time to do the right things. It's just everything's about timing and getting it done right and making plays. So we've certainly, I think every game that we play, every game that we lose, you learn a lot. You win games and then you learn. I think we learned a lot from playing them the first time. I'm sure they learned a lot from playing us. It was a really, really good game, and we're expecting a high competitive game this game as well.
Curtis?
Yeah, Ken, I asked Bobby this earlier, but you guys have 10 sacks over the last two games against Buffalo and LA. How much of that do you feel, looking back on it, is something that's sustainable, that's kind of a sign that you guys are progressing as a rush group altogether, and what would that do for you guys to build upon if that is something that's a little bit more regular for you guys?
Well, there's no question sacks and negative plays really help. The down and distance, going from first and 10 to second and really long really helps you on third down. The third and mediums are really tough, so when you get third and longs after a sack in a series really helps. So there's no question about that. As far as us continuing our consistency on it, it'd be very nice. That's why we bring a guy like Dunlap in to step in and be that designated pass rusher. And then at the same time, it's important that the calls help. And our team, they play well aggressively. They respond well to it. Now it's just a matter of being able to make the plays and make sure that the high risk, high reward, it doesn't hurt us in the long run.
Michael Sean?
Ken, how have you had to adjust things in games when guys are playing out there injured? Like when Quentin was clearly hurt versus Buffalo, and Jamal said he had one arm versus whoever the Rams. Like how do you adjust when guys are out there hurting?
It's a challenge because a lot of times it's on the job, and we go into the week with a certain game plan and expecting certain people to be there. You get to the game, they're challenged, and the injuries it's part of the game. And I think that it's been a weird season in that way. Coming into it, we had a certain amount of guys that we expected to play and to compete for us. It didn't turn out that way. So it's been a really learning experience for myself to really kind of juggle, get guys in the right place, find out who can do what, make sure exactly we have the depth that we have. But I think all in all, very impressed with the attitude, very impressed with how hard guys play. Never in any situation, as many games that we've lost these last couple of games and the scores, they've been in it all the time. And they really believe in what we're doing. They really believe in something good is about to happen. They really believe in playing 4 quarters and finishing games. They really believe in the study and understanding the game plan. And from that standpoint, I can't ask anything more of them. But it's been a challenge to make sure the right people are in and not quite knowing who you're playing with the next week.
Who makes the call on whether to leave a guy in after he gets banged up or pull him out like you guys did, like with Quentin at the end of the Buffalo game?
That's between Quentin. That's between the trainers. If a guy can go, there's always been a place between being injured and being hurt. The player itself, he knows what he feels. He understands his body. Quentin, in his situation, he's had this injury for a while now, so he knows what exactly it takes. So it comes down between the player, the head coach, and the trainer. They have to collaborate and figure out if he can do it.
Thanks.
Brady?
Hi, Ken. We've seen you guys blitz as much over the last 3 weeks as I think you ever have under Pete.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm wondering, what do you think of the job that your pass rush has done on the times where you haven't blitzed and it's just been the usual front 4?
Well, it's hard to say. A lot of times, if you have the pressure with the front 4, you don't have to bring 5 and 6. So I think sometimes when you don't have the pressure and the quarterback has the ability to sit back there and go through 1, 2, 3, 4 reads, it should be 1, 2, 1 read and he's down. We don't have that situation, so we have to put the extra pressure on him, and that's just kind of where we are right now.
And then where does Shaquem Griffin stand? We saw him play quite a bit in the Arizona game 3-4 weeks ago, whatever that was, and not at all on defense since then. Where do things stand with him?
It's everyone's competing. Griff is always finding a way to get back on the field. He's been very versatile and very important to us. And every week there's a different personality, there's a different role to be in. So every match is different. Styles make fights. And in this style, last time we played him, he fit right in because he's a guy that is very fast. He's a guy that matches the speed that they have on their side of the ball with their quarterback. So it's all about trying to find speed to match their speed on their offense.
Styles make fights. Is that a boxing term?
You know what kind of term it is.
Thank you.
Bob?
Yeah, Ken, just wondering your assessment of Snacks Harrison in his first game out. What you saw from him?
Well, Snacks is, he's a big man. He's very intelligent. We've talked about him before. He's a wealth of knowledge and information. He's been playing at a high level for a long time in his career. He's certainly key to our run defense, being able to take up a lot of space, take on blocks, and allow the linebackers on the second level get to the ball. So he's been a force, and he's helped us a lot. We have one of our strengths, of all the things that's been going on this year with the yards and the numbers and things. Our strength has been our run game. So he has been a guy who has certainly stepped in and helped us continue where we've been doing well.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.